It's July 9th. It's 7:31 p.m. This is a meeting of the Lakeville Agricultural Commission, and we are being filmed by the local cable access. I'll call the meeting to order, and according to our agenda, we normally check the minutes from the previous meetings, but I inadvertently left it off the agenda, and it has been brought to my attention that the previous meeting's minutes are not available tonight, so we will address that in the next meeting. So we will move on to 4-H updates. Anything, Dave?
Well, about a week and a half ago, I sent out some emails, see if they need any more information to get for the quarry approvals for Nancy Kitchen and Christina Gillum, and I haven't received a reply back. So far, I'm the only one that's been approved to start a 4-H club.
Okay. Is there anything any one of us can do to try and assist you with this? Would some more phone calls help, or?
Well, can reach out to Valerie. She was the one that initially met with us.
Okay.
And get the paperwork done. She's the one that's in charge of the 4-H horse clubs in Plymouth County. She's not the one that I've been in contact with regarding my quarry check. So I was reaching out to that woman that was, I guess, working on the quarry checks, and I haven't received a reply. I don't know if she's on vacation or not, but I get another contact I can reach out to.
Okay.
That's the extent of that.
That's the extent of the 4-H updates. Okay. Future events discussion. I know at the last meeting we discussed we've had some issues with getting started with the farmers market, and then I brought up the fact that maybe we should try hosting something else, like getting involved somehow with a fall festival or something to that extent. I was sent an email by Nancy Kitchen, who was instrumental in helping to form the commission here. She has purchased for her own viewing, and I did get sent a link about a movie called Forgotten Farms, which is based on the dwindling and almost non-existent dairy industry in New England these days. Nancy has kind of suggested that maybe we could see if there was any interest in hosting a movie night, if people would be interested in seeing this independent film.
I think it's a good idea.
There are some trailers that you can watch online for Forgotten Farms, and it's a pretty interesting story, and they follow, of course, the industry that seems to be disappearing and trying to rejuvenate a lot of things. She, on her own accord, reached out to the producer of this film. They will help organize and promote a viewing if we're interested in hosting that. They do charge a fee to have their showing of $250. If the members here think that's something interesting that we maybe would like to do coming up in the fall for a night, I mean, I would have no problem trying to, put out a donation bucket and see if people would donate a couple dollars towards the film that night to offset the cost, and if need be, I'd put up the money if folks were interested in hosting this. Does everybody think about something like that?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I think it's a great idea.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
I think you could probably reach out to some local businesses too, like maybe P&P Pets or Southeastern Fence, like, or just, I mean, doesn't have to be that, but like maybe businesses in that vein of farming that might be interested or not.
Yeah.
We could always try. I think the donation bucket's a great idea too. And, you know, you could use the senior center for the showing if that's something you wanted to do.
Okay.
We'll just have to make it a little tricky with a night, like meeting nights. But we can certainly make that work, and this might be a good venue for it.
All right. Something like this, what would we be looking at for a possible capacity in here?
So we can fit 100 people in here comfortably when we have tables set up, like for a meal.
Okay.
So without the tables, you might be able to fit a little bit more, you know.
Okay.
But I don't think we're supposed to have more than 150 in the room, you know,
Right.
if we weren't having a
With
meal.
fire occupancy
right.
type of laws.
But I can double check on those things as
Okay.
well.
If we decide that we want to move forward with this, I would be happy to reach out to them and see if there's, I know that they are discussing, you know, they would provide the Blu-ray for it and everything, but I don't know screen-wise if they have anything. I know that the last event we had, we ended up with a small portable screen. I think we'd probably like to have something a little larger than that to
Yeah.
view this
Could we
film.
use the library, because they have that big screen in the gallery?
Oh, there
Yeah.
you go too, that could be another option as well, yeah.
Yeah, we could check on that
Yeah.
and see what the capacity is over there.
Yeah, it's pretty good size of
Okay,
the gallery one.
okay.
Now, what about Ted Williams too? Isn't that pretty good size? There.
Yeah, it is good size. I don't know how that works right now on getting it. We used to, it's my understanding, and I have nothing concrete on it, but that it's maybe not as easy for town things to get the setup tonight. I guess it's being managed by somebody now.
Yeah, there's a lot
And
of planning, and I
there's a
think
lot-
that it's hard to get around the fees now.
There's a lot of different
Yeah.
events and there's different fees involved and things like that, and I wouldn't want to go further into the hole if we're trying to do a nice, you know, local agricultural type event. I don't want to go too far negative on that to try and recoup it. Yeah, I'd like to make a motion that we pursue a movie night and showing of the film Forgotten Farms sometime in the fall.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. Any other thoughts on future events?
We had a woman that was interested in managing the farmer's market, but she recently gave birth.
We've had, I have personally had no more contact with her, and I don't, Kelly, who had done a lot of the
In between.
in between, hasn't heard any more from her.
Okay, I didn't, because we won't be able to have a farmer's market, of course, this year, but I was wondering if she'd be interested in managing next year.
I'm not sure about that, but just a suggestion, and I don't know if this is even the exact, you know, place that you would find somebody, but I would suggest maybe trying CMAP, reaching out to them. They are involved with a lot of things farming, and they might be able to, you know, give you a lead or, you know, suggest somebody that is not running a market or has moved to another area. You know, those situations sometimes happen, but they might be a good place to start.
Okay.
And we could also continue to, you know, try and reach out to this person, you know, as the year goes on, now that we have a little bit of time, and she's obviously very busy right now, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else on future events?
Jim,
Sir?
how about one on Lyme disease? And the other diseases that go with it.
When,
I almost died of babesiosis last year.
okay,
My organs shut down and I didn't pay attention to it.
okay,
But
Like tick-borne diseases?
Pardon? Tick-borne, yeah.
Tick-borne.
That is something that everyone should be concerned about. And, it's all year long, it's not just now.
Yeah.
My wife and I were cleaning out, we have a 16-acre farm, we were cleaning out just the first garden. She had 2 ticks on her, this was in January, when it warmed up a little.
Yep.
She had 2 ticks on her, I had 2 ticks on me. That was in January.
Okay. Yeah, it's not a bad
There
idea.
are a lot of people that probably would be willing, there are a lot of good people around that probably we could recruit to talk about it,
Okay.
Absolutely.
You can even have mosquito-borne diseases
Yeah.
with it too.
Yep,
The Plymouth, is it the Plymouth County Extension down in Wareham?
yes.
I know that they do programs on ticks. I mean, they do programs on ticks and all different things to do with, this area and what's going on that way. But what you're saying might even have some crossover with, you're going to a medical kind of level too. Like, so there may be a couple opportunities for some different, maybe even a panel.
Yeah, definitely be interested in looking into that. That's probably a good idea.
Yeah, it caught my attention.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. Okay, great. On to the potential new members. Mr. Van Lahoven is not being ostracized. He has not yet been appointed by the Board of Selectmen, but he will be on the 12th. The night of the 12th, they're going to put him on the commission so that he can sit at the big table with us. And I don't know if you got the message, sir. You'll be appointed the night of the 12th. You can either stop in and pick up your paperwork, or they'll mail it to you.
Okay.
To be sworn in anytime the 13th and on. And,
The 13th,
Yep,
that's my birthday, Friday the 13th.
okay. Well, so you'll be eligible to sit as a participating member at the August meeting, and I'll make sure that I get your contact info
Okay.
tonight so that I can reach out to you. We do a little bit by email, a little bit by text, just to make sure that everybody's on the same page and so forth. Okay. We also received tonight a letter of interest from Cindy Barber. I'm going to pass it around to everybody. I know she had shown some interest several months ago. Her name had come up. I think that now's as good a time as any to try and get her on board. She wrote a letter to the commission, if you guys want to just take a peek at it, just a little breakdown on her agricultural pedigree. And I'm certainly interested in having her here, and I would hope that everybody else would be interested in having Cindy as well. I do anticipate another vacancy shortly when Kelly relocates. So we are still going to be in need of some alternates as well. Does anybody have anything more on that? Any
Tried
thoughts?
to get her to come tonight, but she wanted to read, everybody to read her letter first.
Yep, no, I understand.
I told her, I thought we'd really be glad to have her.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So if there's no objection to this, and I don't think we could really put an opinion out anyway, she's put a letter of interest in it, would go to the Board of Selectmen, but I'm gonna pass that off to them tomorrow, so that they're aware that she's interested. And again, certainly somebody I'd welcome to have here. Next up, the continued right to farm discussion. I know that, Joan, you had brought this up at the last meeting, I
Right.
think, that you wanna.
Is it something that we're gonna move forward with? Oh,
Well, we've kind of been spinning our wheels.
We have been spinning
with a few
our
different
wheels,
things.
yeah. I mean, we said we might just adopt the state one, but as the paperwork that Dave gave me and some that you had before, every town seems to change the exact same sections, like the one of disclosure to people who are buying in town.
Yeah,
And different towns have added or subtracted what they consider farming, so I don't know if we want to go with the state one, or we're gonna adjust it to ourselves.
I think, as was said at a prior meeting, I think that trying to adjust it too much
Got us in-
to Lakeville
Get us in trouble.
is what bogged us down.
Yes, before.
You know, I think I would like to speak to the Board of Selectmen and the Board of Health to see if we can officially
Go forward at all.
go forward and with any support from them.
That's what I thought would be the answer, yeah.
I mean, I'd like to see us pretty much adopt the language of the state's law, even though it's already in effect in the town. I think it'd be big to show the town coming forward and saying that they support their farmers. We do have some choices on to make on the language. Some towns, put up the signs on the town lines. Other towns actually have a form that the realtors have with them when someone's buying a piece of property, that they have to sign this form to acknowledge that the town supports agriculture and supports the right to farm by law. So, I mean, there's a few things that we can add into it.
That's one of the things that I saw was added in the paperwork that you gave us.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that myself.
Okay. I will, I'll draft up an email and send it to the Board of Selectmen and the Board of Health that we're interested in pursuing this again, and, ask them if they have any input on it. Mr. Dowling, any questions, concerns, comments?
No,
Okay.
keep it a low profile.
Okay. All right, so why don't we move forward with that I'll just reach out to the Board of Selectmen and Board of Health.
You can put some drafts together using the state language, and put in this, one draft could have the section of the signage.
Yeah.
Another draft can have the forms that the realtors keep with them. To have
Okay,
new property buyers sign,
okay,
and we'll take a look at those drafts at the next meeting.
okay. I'll just let them know that that's gonna be on the forefront again, as things go. I noted on our agenda calls for service. I just wanted to let everybody know that on this past Monday, I did receive a call from the Board of Health regarding issues. Neighbors were questioning the application of cranberry production materials by helicopter. Some folks on Route 79 were concerned that pesticides were being dispersed and so forth. I did have a great conversation with the Board of Health agent, whose name escapes me right now.
Yeah, it is me right now, too.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Kevin.
Kevin.
Yeah,
Yep.
Kevin Bernardo.
Kevin was not at all familiar with cranberry production. The bog in question was Doug Johnson's cranberry bogs out off between 79 and Haskell Circle. I did give him my opinion that I believed it was a bloom fertilizer. I called one of our local experts as well, and also fellow commission member Dave Thomas, to confirm that I wasn't giving out bad information, and yes, it was a mid-bloom fertilizer application. He and I had about a 10-minute discussion on the production of cranberries and best practices that I'm aware of as a failed cranberry grower myself. And I did offer that I would meet with the party that had concerns. Dave and I had discussed, if we need to do any outreach. She was evidently happy with the Board of Health checking on it and getting right back to her, so I haven't heard anything more on that. We haven't had any other calls for service, other than a rooster I rehomed for the town of Rainham. But it only spent 2 nights in Lakeville, and deservedly was rehomed.
That wouldn't be a bad idea for an outreach on teaching the practices of cranberries.
Yeah,
I don't know who'd attend. Even the people that were probably complaining probably wouldn't attend, but, it's somehow make the educational materials available, I guess,
yeah. We could actually probably put that on our own page,
Yeah, we probably could.
a little bit of a little blurb about when you hear pumps running, it could be from irrigation. Helicopters spray drop granular fertilizer. They're not spraying pesticides
Right.
around here with aerial applications. Most all that is done through irrigation systems and injection by licensed pesticide applicators, so forth. Yeah, probably wouldn't be a bad idea to sit down and work on something like that.
You could even do something like that, with people in attendance or without. Maybe work with LakeCAM at some point to do some kind of, just a talk that could be recorded and shown once in a while,
Yeah.
like maybe when the season's coming up, or when, most of those calls are coming in because it's bloom or picking or whatever it is.
Right.
It's something that could be
Yeah.
in that way, so.
Okay. Is there any other business in front of the board?
Just have a question. Did you end up getting any response to your inquiry on the Betty's Neck
Oh.
for the selectmen? I
Yep.
was curious.
No.
Okay.
No one seemed to be interested in haying Betty's Neck. Everybody that I spoke to had the same concerns, that if the fields hadn't been fertilized and hadn't been cared for, the thought was that they would be baling hay with 0 nutritional value.
Yeah, pretty much cow hay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And no one was interested this year.
Thank
So,
you.
Yeah, that's the same result I got too.
yep, yep. We did try, but with no records of anything being done on the property, and, basically everybody's thoughts were we're gonna harvest something that has no value,
Right.
unless you own cattle and you were taking it for yourself, and nobody seemed to be interested in jumping on that.
How was that presented anyway? What was the deal with that? With the hay?
And Mr. Powderly came in front of the board, in front of the commission, at our last meeting. He had asked to be put on the agenda, and the person who had been haying that 40 acres was no longer interested. And so with kind of short notice, they were looking for somebody else to fill in. And they thought perhaps that someone on the Agricultural Commission may know someone interested in haying the field for a discounted price with a possibility of a long-term agreement that would be beneficial to both parties.
And that part could still happen down the road, so.
It could still absolutely happen. It's still on the table if anybody is interested in reaching out to the Board of Selectmen in town. Lorraine Carboni is gonna be handling that, if anybody's interested, and if you know anyone that,
I was just thinking about it, because I would think somebody would do it for a long-term plan, not just call them up and say, hey, can you come cut this now? So then somebody can put fertilizer on it, somebody can put the seeds in, somebody can do what it needs to
right.
do it, not just say, hey, come cut the hay.
And that was part of the concern, is that there was short notice on it's no longer being harvested. And of course, they, you know, when he met with us, we were, you know, folks are right in the middle of cutting hay. You know, and a lot of the people that do the smaller parcels don't have the equipment to move their stuff and handle, you know, a 40-acre cut.
That's me.
But you could if you had time though, wouldn't you?
No,
Yeah, you would.
no, I wouldn't.
Pretty sure young and spry, you'd get right out there.
I would, but it'd be tough on the machinery to take it to Betty's neck.
Yeah, I did
Thank you.
advertise that on the Facebook page too, and shared it out.
Yeah.
And that one article contacted about just under 1,200 people. And people were tagging other people that hay, and still no results on it.
Yeah. Yeah, so as far as I know, no one jumped on that. All right,
It
if
just
there,
seems like it needs to be a little more put together than, you know, like a little package deal to go with it.
well, what he conveyed,
But I missed it, so we might have
right, when he sat
that
down,
package deal together.
when Selectman Powderly sat down with us, he conveyed to us, he knew it was short notice. He knew it kinda just got dropped in their lap, and, you know, he was just coming to us hoping that we might be able to find somebody out there that would be interested in doing it. And he, you know, I don't think his hopes were high, but he was just figuring he's gonna exhaust all avenues he can. And as Dave said, you know, we, not only did some of us personally reach out to people, but, you know, we tried to do it through social media as well, and nobody jumped on it. So it may be something that next year somebody's interested, you know? If there is nothing else,
I can think of
I'd
it.
entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
A motion to adjourn the meeting?
I second it. Meeting adjourned, 7:58.